The Snap-on Tools Corporation makes high-quality hand tools for car mechanics, and it makes a lot of money for its stockholders. But many of its dealers are unhappy, and they are waging a rebellion. Those dealers charge that Snap-on doesn't treat them fairly. And as NBC's Connie Chung reports tonight, they're challenging this company in court.
Anything I can talk into or out of?
Mike Stay is the man professional mechanics look for when they want to buy high-quality automobile hand tools. For 10 years, he's been a top dealer for Snap-on Tools Corporation. Last year, its sales were $754 million. Now he's angry at the company that he says wants to cut his sales territory and give it to another dealer.
This is my wife and my business. We were told that when we got into this business. It was our business, the territory we were given, that we could develop it, and the sky was the limit.
Mike Stay and 60 other dealers nationwide have filed suit against Snap-on, charging fraud and interference with their business. They say they are victims of a greedy company that rigged territory size so that its profits would go up as the dealers went under. Attorney Charles Harris.
What they're doing is making the territory smaller and smaller. They're saturating the market. They are selling more tools to more dealers and doubling and tripling their profits, even though individually the dealers will fail.
These former dealers from California and St. Louis have hired Harris, who recently won a multi-million-dollar jury verdict for another Snap-on dealer. They're waging a kind of David versus Goliath uprising against Snap-on, which they say programmed them to fail.
Every day I have to live with the fact that I owe my parents $60,000, and I don't know how I'm going to pay it back.
It's shattered the American dream for me.
I think Snap-on is like the Cadillac of the tools and the junkyard of management.
Frank Patty, a former police officer.
I should have been able to smell this con from the very beginning.
You have to get people that are halfway gullible.
Bob Jones was in management for Snap-on until he resigned 3 years ago. He says the lure of Snap-on's Fortune 500 status and the promise of income as high as doctors and lawyers makes recruiting dealers easy. Jones and Harry Kirk, another field manager, say they were told to recruit men with little business experience.
I always look for a younger fellow with very aggressive personality and lots of money, because he wasn't going to have it very long.
Kirk and Jones say Snap-on told them to lie.
We always told them every territory was the same. It's just what you make out of it, which is not true. We would never show the new dealer the previous dealer's figures, because chances are that previous dealer, he's out of the business because he failed.
Dealers take most of the risks. When a man joins the nationwide network, he puts out $60,000 to $80,000 for a truck and tools. If mechanics don't pay their bills, or the territory doesn't have enough customers, it's the dealer who loses. Jim Alexander and other dealers say that Snap-on regularly sends them unordered promotional items, which they are told to sell. Alexander complained. His wife Maria started getting phone calls.
Every time they talked to me, they told me how lazy he was.
Then the company sent a written survey to his customers to find out about his job performance.
Now, their survey, they used to terminate my dealership. They said I wasn't giving adequate service.
Alexander obtained copies of the negative surveys and asked his mechanics about it. Mike Collins.
And it's not true. I did not sign this.
Forgery?
It's forgery. Definitely.
Kermit Simmons.
It's a forgery.
Alexander is suing. He says he's in debt for $75,000.
I just can't believe that they can do this and get away with it. Not in this country. I just can't.
Snap-on declined to be interviewed by NBC News for this report. Its position about the men who failed and sued is that they didn't follow the company program. They didn't work hard enough. They also point out that criticism is coming only from a small percentage of the 3,700 dealers nationwide. But the men who failed say Snap-on's corporate greed stacked the deck against them. Connie Chung, NBC News, New York.